Welcome to another episode of Driver Profile. This is actually a reshoot that we had to do because the footage from the first one was absolutely horrible. I'm sitting here with Gerald Daniels and his beautifully clean CRX. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this car, Gerald?
Well, it's a 1988 CRX HF model, and it's pretty much like stock besides suspension, like header, and yeah, just like a fun little daily, nothing special. Looks nice.
Oh, that it definitely does.
Yeah.
What motivated you to get this car? Like out of like all the sea of options. And, like, I know you're a Honda guy, so why not an EG Civic? Why not a EF hatch? Why the two-seater CRX?
Well, like the CRX was kind of a thing. Like when you see it, it was so rare. It's like it just caught your eye. So when one day I was just driving, I happened to see one like this for sale. And I was like, oh, let me see how much he wants for it. And the price is reasonable, so I went ahead and got it. So I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, and a car like this. Now, I drove this once before in our last shoot, and just the power steering was actually like surprisingly light for it. Like I couldn't like believe, because like my GSR doesn't have power steering right now, and it is a pain. I absolutely hate the thing. So do you ever find yourself annoyed with the lack of power steering, or do you just not care about it?
No, it doesn't really bother me because like before I got it, I was actually like researching the car, and it doesn't have power steering, so I was kind of worried about it at first. But when I went to test drive it, I was like, oh wow, this is really doable, you know. Because most times you have power steering, you gotta do all that just to go. But like this is pretty reasonable.
Yeah, no, it was like it lightens up a lot as you start to get into it. Do you have any plans for it? Like, do you want to boost it? Do you want to engine swap it?
Eventually I want to put a V16 in it, so it's kind of like a SIR clone, you know.
Yeah. No, as I know, in Japan they gave you like the glass roof.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider attempting to do like a glass roof on this car?
No, probably not, because then it makes it a little bit heavier. So.
Yeah, you want to be light to put those gaps in. Definitely got yeah. So what got you into cars? What was your motivation? I know we touched on this on the last episode, but the world's never going to see that footage at all.
Well, my family was kind of car people, but they were more Mopar people. So that's how I first got started with the Mustangs, like Fox bodies and all that. And as I got older and like got a mind of my own, Fast and Furious came out, and I was like, whoa, gotta get an Eclipse, That kind of got me into the whole JDM thing, Fast and Furious, pretty much.
If you had to own an Eclipse, what Eclipse would you get? Like a DSM, or you a third gen kind of guy? Like if you had your pick of all the Eclipses,
I'll probably get the 2G Eclipse.
2G?
Yeah, I like those.
Yeah, I like how they have like the hood bulge.
Yeah,
like it's really weird. Like people are like, what is that?
Yeah.
I'd seen this MR2 the other day, just really clean paint. It's like a totally unrelated topic. What do you think of the MR2? Like, would you ever own an MR2? So if I had one, I'd K-swap it.
I like the MR2. It'd be kind of a thing where I wouldn't probably drive it that much, but every now and then I bring it out. It's a pretty nice car. I like it.
Yeah. So if you had to own a car that wasn't this CRX, as I know you've had some Integras and stuff too, but if just you had a choice of just if you could trade with someone right now.
Oh man.
If
I can trade, that's a tough question. I wouldn't trade this, but if I were to get another car, I guess if it wasn't like a JDM car, I'd probably get like a Challenger or maybe a Charger or something like that.
Yeah, I had almost bought a Charger. I found this Hemi Charger, and it was like $3,500, and I knew I could have talked him down more. Yeah. It had a lot of miles on it, but it was really clean. And I was like, man, I could get this car. I could have a freaking V8 Charger.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like I'd die in it. And I hear they have a lot of suspension problems.
Yeah.
What have you done with the suspension on this car?
Well, I got the coilovers and the lower control arms for the rear. That's pretty much for right now. So I wanted to lower it a little bit. I didn't want to lower it too much because thinking about that Integra I had, it was just a pain in the ass to drive around every day,
Yeah, no, I understand about the life scraping on stuff, man. It's just never like a satisfying noise.
Yeah.
What would you say is like the most like distasteful mod you've ever done? And then to follow that up, what do you think is the most distasteful mod that you've ever seen in person?
Well, the most distasteful mod I ever done was the aluminum ricer wing. That was like when I had that Prelude. You know, I was just getting to the car scene. I was like, oh, you know, get this wing, it's cheap. And it looked bad. Like looking back on it, it looked pretty bad. But nowadays it's like the trucks are like really ricing it out nowadays. The lights and all the over the top mods, you know.
Yeah, they seem to get away with like anything.
Yeah.
I was like you know about the fart can jokes. Oh, Honda
Yeah.
sound like hippo farts and all this, but like I don't know, those clapping Chevys, like they sound like
Yeah.
that full on like just you know like just farting down the road. You feel the same way about that?
Yeah. It's more like this. They're making all this noise, but not going anywhere, you know.
Yeah, no, and then they're squatting. It's
Yeah.
like I thought I thought I was distasteful with what I do to my car.
I was really like I didn't like lifted trucks until they started squatting them. And I was like, you know, I don't mind lifting trucks now. Just the squat is just ugly to me, you know. Some people might like it, but to me, I don't like it at all.
So if you did a lifted truck build, what would you do differently on that?
I would lift both ends of the truck up. That's what I would do.
Would you do like a pavement princess type thing, or would you go like full off road with it?
I would probably do like the off road build.
Yeah, I like a functional build. You know, like I don't understand like the big wheels, like the thin stretch tires.
Yeah.
Like there's this one dude I used to know, and he had a Ram 1500, and he had like deep dish, like almost like Civic wheels, and then like real thin stretch tires on it. I'm like, dude, did you want a Honda, but then your dad got mad at you for wanting a Honda? Like I feel like he's like living the Honda life vicariously through the his Ram 1500.
I guess to each his own, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean I'm not gonna hate too hard. Just
Yeah.
maybe crack a couple jokes on it, because definitely at the end of the day, like, you know, who hasn't been roasted at a car meet?
Yeah.
I had did you ever see my Nissan 200 SX I had?
No, I don't think so.
I did some regrettable things to that car. I neon greened the whole interior and put like lights all through it. It was not. And then a dude just roasted me at a car meet, and they I didn't know I was being roasted. Which like looking back on it now, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, I did that to the neon I had. I put lights all up in it, you know. I riced it out pretty bad. But
I think everyone has that that first car that they rice out really badly, and they just kind of destroy. Yeah. Like, because you know when you're like 18, 19, you can't help yourself. You're gonna do something horrible to your poor car.
At least it was a neon, not like the CRX, you know.
Yeah, no. For me, it was like a Nissan Sentra with 2 doors. Wasn't even like a real 200 SX. Wasn't even like one with a good engine. It had like the crappy 1.6 that like made no power. The thing was completely anemic. That's actually how I got into Hondas, is because I raced the Civic on the highway, and I thought I was gonna gap him. Like I've been reading on the forums. I was like, all right, I can beat this guy, and he destroyed me. It was horrible, and I was like, you know what? Maybe there's something to these Hondas. You know, maybe there's a little something there. Do you have you raced anyone in this yet, or is this just like a driving car?
This is just like my daily. I'm not trying to beat on it too much, you know.
Yeah, since you have to.
Like when I first got it, I kind of beat on it a little bit because I want to see what it had, but you know. Other than that, I just kind of drive it, just cruise. A lot of people see me and they trying to like zoom past me, you know. Oh, look at this Honda, I gotta race him, you know. But you know, I'm just cruising.
Yeah. That's the mentality a lot of people have. Is like they're always, especially if you have like a wing, everyone like wants to race you. Like I would love to do a build that's like a really fast car, and then like make it really ugly, like put like the biggest wing on it that I could. It's a really horrible wheels. And then just like go take everyone to Gapplebee's in it, you know. Just what kind of wheel and tire setup you have on this thing?
Well, I have the MST wheels, the 15x8s, zero offset. I actually had those for my Integra. They didn't poke out too much on Integra, but I put them on here and they kind of poked on a lot. But yeah, I kind of like it, you know. Yeah,
it kind of gives like the car like a little thickness, like a little, like kind of like almost like a flush, kind of look. You know, I think it looks good on this little car.
And the tires are like Federal Super Steels. 195, 45, 15. And yeah, I got the 45 profile, so it sit just a little bit lower without actually having to lower it too much. You know?
Yeah, and I was thinking a pretty like workable amount of gap there too. It's
Yeah.
like not too much, it's not too little. It's like nice and functional. I like that about this build. Cause like I've seen some builds where it's just like it's not functional.
Yeah, the just dirt nasty little Honda. You know? I mean, it looks good. You know, I had my Integra was dirt nasty though, but after driving that for like 3 years, I'm like, I don't want to be that low right now. You know.
Yeah. What happened to your other Integra shell that you had the last time I saw you?
End up selling it so I can get this. Yeah.
The white shell?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
I was gonna keep it, you know, build it, but then I saw this and it was like offer I couldn't refuse, so you know, I had to say goodbye to the Integra.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, but
It happens.
yeah.
You got to say goodbye to it sometimes.
Yeah, I plan on getting another Integra in the future. But
Yeah, I can get my GSR from you.
hey, if everything works out, you know.
Yeah, now with the coronavirus relief check, man, I'll tell you what, it's tax season all over again.
I know, right?
Man. Yeah, here, what else can we talk about?
You want to like take like a look around, you know?
Yeah. Well, how you feel about Cardi B in the new Fast and Furious movie?
I kind of fell off the Fast and Furious series. It kind of stopped being about cars and just kind of
It's like
another movie with cars in it, you know?
Yeah, it's like the way I still like them. Like my thing is I've seen them all multiple times, but if you asked me to recap the storyline of all the movies, I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Like I go in the movie theater, I watch the movie, and I walk out of the movie theater feeling a little better, but other than that, I can't really tell you much about the movie itself. Because, like, my thing is, like, I think of them, like, and you can tell me if, like, you think this is a correct opinion. Like, people always like, oh, everything's fake in it. Like, of course. Yeah. But, like, do you say that criticism of, like, the Avengers? Like, no, it's just a superhero movie at this point. Like, that's all the Fast and Furious movies are, superhero movies. Except their superpowers being so badass that they can, like bend physics, I guess. Like physics don't really affect them, so they could parachute out a plane in the car and not, like, get fucked up by it or anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's a movie. Like, what do you expect? It has to be, like, entertaining, you know?
Yeah.